Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We're going to get back into the second half of the Q&A we did last time. We're going to get through the rest of these answers, and then we're going to get into probably an Amber video, two more Q&As, and then probably a foodie video. Just switch it up a little bit, try to catch up with some more foodie, the Q&As, and then once I finish all of the Q&As, we can get into other stuff. Hopefully Amber doesn't release anymore. But let's just get straight into the second half, shall we? Alright guys, so starting off the first one, which I'm pretty sure is just a bunch of shade. Like, if you guys know what the Mountain Dew soda story is with Amber, she threw a code red? Yeah, code red Mountain Dew at Destiny's car, and essentially that was a big point of contention with Amber and her level of aggression. So I think people kind of being shady with it, but you know, it could be innocent. Pretty sure it's shade though. Amber replies with, "I don't like it, I don't drink it." Moving on to the second one, we have, "Hey Amber, what's the last movie you watched? Did you like it?" To which Amber replies, "Twisters. It was a good movie. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Honestly, I like Twisters. I think it's a really good movie. I would say it's about a 6, 7. Yeah, so I think she kind of rated it pretty good. Like, it's a decent movie overall. It still holds up over time. Like, I only watched it, I think it was only 2 weeks ago with my dad, so yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have, "Erica doxed herself. People want you to be the villain so bad. Lol." It isn't about like people wanting Amber to be the villain. It's that Amber herself is a bad person by the action she does. And you can have multiple people in the wrong. You don't just go, all right, you're more in the wrong, so we're just going to forget what everyone else did. Amber is also in the wrong, so you hold everybody accountable for their actions. You don't have to hold everyone equally accountable, but you do have to hold everyone who was involved, who did the wrong thing, you know, accountable. And like, to say that, oh, people want Amber to be the villain in her own story, no, she makes herself the villain with her own actions, and people just hold a mirror up to her actions. It's her choosing to not better herself, which leads her to being the villain in her own story. That aside, Amber says her wife contacted Salty Crab and told her who Erica was, which is true, that did happen, and Salty Crab did actually keep that information for, I think, several weeks. So she didn't immediately just spill the beans. She kept that information and sat on that information until Amber gave out her first name, which, even if she didn't come out and speak on the situation, most people would have just said, all right, Erica, we're just going to find out any Erica that has any association with Amber, and we're going to narrow it down to the right one, which most people would have done anyway, and it would be easy to figure it out. Amber is not the brightest when it comes to keeping secrets to herself. In fact, she needs to brag about every secret that she has. So people are going to narrow it down eventually, and even if Salty Crab kept the information to herself. So it's not really her fault. On top of that, why would you want to keep your private stuff private, but then go to a public reaction channel who speaks publicly about public drama about other people? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Again, it would be like you standing up at the dinner table and announcing your secrets to the entire family and expect them not to talk about it. Salty Crab then took that information and revealed it. It's super simple. I can stay the villain for people even if I'm not always in the wrong. Alright. First and foremost, Amber, you're not a martyr. Like, you choose to actively put this drama online, so this is completely your own fault. Like, you willingly chose to be a public figure and then do some, you know, bad shit. So you're going to get called out for your actions harsher than anyone else. Like the average person anyway. On top of that, you are going to also have to accept the fact that you willingly talked to a married woman after you were told off by that married woman's wife. You should have just left it be and move on. Now, you may not have started off as the villain in the situation because you were catfished and by two people who wanted to play a cruel joke on you, but, you know, you did become the villain eventually when you crossed that line after knowing that they were still married and they were still together. You actively chose to try and break up a relationship so that way you could get another girlfriend while actively hitting up 2 or 3 other people at the same time. So you're not a good person. So let's not pretend like you're some sort of martyr, you know, wanting to be the victim in everybody's, you know, little entertainment story. You choose to actively put this out there. If you don't want that, quit your YouTube job, which you don't even do anymore, and get a 9 to 5 like most people. Go get a job at McDonald's, at KFC, at Taco Bell, or go clean toilets, or go get a degree or something. You know, actively do something that is beneficial to society instead of you sitting at your home complaining and eating. And before anyone comes at me, no hate to fast food workers or cleaners, absolutely not. I work in an animal shelter. Part of my job is to clean up animal shit. So, like, I have no glamorous job by any means. And I think as a society, we benefit from those things. Like, fast food in general is not healthy, but as a society, we still use it every now and then. So, like, we're all guilty of going to fast food to have a couple of cheat meals, or maybe just to go have so we don't have to cook for dinner once in a while, like something just to kind of get us by. It's very important. And cleaners are so beneficial to society. Like, can you imagine how dirty places would be if we did not have cleaners in businesses or in public spaces? So absolutely no hate. On to the next one we have, do you play Dress to Impress on Roblox? To which Aaron replies, I've never played that before, no. I saw H3 play it, and it looks pretty fun. I've never actually played Roblox. I've been told you can do so many different things with it, but I've just never been interested in it. It was kind of more so, like, past my time as kind of, I think it was an adult by the time it came out, so I was never really interested in it as a kid, so I never really got into it. Plus, I just think it's a breeding ground for a lot of creeps, so... On to the next one, we have another big one, which is another cancer one, so I'm not going to really go over this too much. I'm just going to quickly get through it and just give the same old opinion that I've given like 4 or 5 times now. But we have... Didn't you just have precancerous cells? That's what reaction channels are saying, to which Amber replies, no, I didn't. I had actual cancer. Becky and my mum went into all the appointments that I was in. I don't know if like her mum went through every single one. Like Becky, obviously, because Becky would have to drive her, but I don't know about her mum though. Like that could be true, but I don't know if that is true. Heard the doctors, the constant conversation, etc., and they all saw the paperwork as well. I've been blamed for lying about cancer from the very second I was diagnosed, so I went as far as showing multiple personal health and medical records that showed my diagnosis. I never actually saw that. Is that true? Because if that is true, I am going to change my opinion and apologize. Like, I will fully admit, if I was wrong, I will admit I was wrong. But I would like to see the paperwork, though. Because, Amber, it's not people automatically just going to assume that you're lying. Most people don't automatically assume someone's lying. There has to be a reason why people think you're a liar. Either the story sounds untrue, or you yourself have a history of lying. So if cancer is something that people would believe, then there's a reason why, obviously a reason why, that people are not believing you. And that's because you have lied about multiple very, very important things in the past. Like, you create the boy who cried wolf, essentially, by lying. And now you're facing the consequences of those, actions. And now you don't like the consequences. So you can't complain that people don't trust you for, your cancer diagnosis. It was never precancerous. It was always cancer. If that's true, I will fully admit, and I will make a full apology video apologizing for that. But I'm not going to do that until I see actual proof. On to the next one we have, I thought you were a pluviophile, to which Amber replies, I used to be one, and I was one literally my whole life. Now, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Wifey was a pluviophile, and that's when Amber was really harping on about it, but I think she may have talked about it beforehand. And I'm not going to defend Amber by any means, but people do change their mind, and even if Amber isn't necessarily with someone else, like, people can change even if they're narcissistic like Amber, or have a personality where they leech off other people's personality traits. Like, she may have been a pluviophile at one point in her life, but then she may have changed. But with Amber, she's constantly changing her mind, so it could just be one of those. It could be instead of like seasonal depression, it's like seasonal personality traits. But ever since I moved to Oklahoma, I slowly leaning out of preferring rainy days. I mean, that's also true. If you go to a different area, you're going to have different climates, you're going to have different weather patterns, you're going to have different just overall aspects of how you view the weather there. Like, I don't know the difference between Oklahoma and Kentucky, but if there is a climate difference and is there like a weather pattern difference, maybe there could be the reason why she changed her mind. It's completely up to the area and how, what stage of your life in. Sometimes even your own personality traits can make you lean to liking something or not liking something, depending on if you're happy or if you're sad, or if you're going through a hard time in your life, or you're going through like a particular time in your life you want to do something, but then you can't do it because of the weather itself. It really comes down to point in your life, climate, weather patterns, area you're living, and just how you feel in general. So I'm not saying that Amber is lying. I'm just saying that Amber is, just probably changed her mind at some point. I do like the rain on certain days and nights, but I prefer when it isn't raining now. Yeah, just really that simple. I mean, I think some people may try to catch her in a lie with this, but I don't think it's worth really trying to push it that far. It's like not really something you should look into as much as just seeing it as face value, really. Next one we have, I don't know why people would believe reaction channels over your own cancer diagnosis, to which Amber says, and medical records, because she is a compulsive liar. Again, compulsive liars cannot be trusted because they are not trustworthy. And the fact that people are willing to go, oh, well, they're not going to believe you as something so serious. Oh, what kind of person are they? Or what kind of people are they? It's because she's a compulsive liar. And when you do the story of who the boy who cried wolf, you can understand the premise of the story by saying, okay, he did it so many times that people no longer believed him, and then he got a negative consequence. That's what Amber is suffering through. And the fact that people choose to be willingly ignorant of that just shows you that they have such a deep-seated bias for Amber. And it's so weird. Like, I don't understand why people would infantilize someone who is such a terrible person, really. Like, all of the things that she has done and has done over 11 years, why would you want to defend that to the point of being delusional? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's crazy. Moving on to the next one we have you ever had asthma? To which she replies, yeah, in elementary school. I needed an inhaler. The thing with Amber is we don't actually know, because how many mental illnesses or health conditions that she has had that suddenly just disappear overnight. So, I mean, it could be true, could not be true. It's really hard to believe her because, again, compulsive liar here. So, on to the next one we have, what should I wear if I want to be the iconic Miss Amberlynn Reid for Halloween? Love you. It's less about what you want to wear and getting the attitude right. Like, what you need to do is get like probably like a bodysuit, and then after that probably stuff like your pants. That's just the physical aspect. I know that's a bit of a dick move for me saying that, but that's just the physical aspect. We have to get the mental on board. Like, first and foremost, you need to get piss drunk, and then you need to pick fights with random strangers outside the house. And then after you pick a fight, you need to film yourself cry about being, having BPD, and then make yourself the victim. And then on top of that, if you can, like, if you really want to push it home, try to claim that you have ADHD and that you're on the spectrum. Like, if you can really drive that home, even though you don't have a diagnosis, that's perfect. Like, you need to just appropriate what it is to have mental disorders that you don't actually have a diagnosis for, and that'd be perfect. Like, that is Amber through and through. Amber goes on to say, dark clothes, black choker, hoops, winged eyeliner, 2 nostril piercings, a cute small purse, and devil horns. I mean, the last one's a filter, so yeah, I mean, I guess. On to the next one we have, why did you never have to undergo any cancer treatment besides surgery? This is atypical, to which Amber replies, it's not atypical when it is early stages of uterine cancer. Sometimes all we need is a full hysterectomy, which is also very hard. Yeah, I agree. Having a full hysterectomy, especially for someone who may potentially want children in the future, is a very tough thing to go through. Again, people can't really trust you, Amber, because of your lies. So, I mean, I would be empathetic towards you if you were telling the truth and you had never lied before, or you didn't lie about big things on camera. But I don't have that empathy for you because you have created this situation for yourself. On to the next one we have. Oh no, I hate this. Like, I will fully admit, when I saw this question, this one triggered me hardcore. Now, I think I've talked about my brother a little bit. I have a younger brother who is a lot like Amber in some regards. Not every single regard, but in a lot of regards, he is just like Amber. He's very narcissistic in the way that Amber treats her partners and treats family members. And he's a lot like that too. So, like, I got really triggered at this one because my mother, who is his number one narcissistic source for like a validation and attention, he will abuse her, and he's really pretty much what Amber's relationships are to Amber is what my mother is to my brother. And my mother says the exact same thing. You're a very misunderstood person. No, he is not. And Amber is the exact same way. I hate this with a passion. That saying, I hate with a goddamn passion. She's very misunderstood. Absolutely not. No, hell no. I just want to say I think you're a genuinely lovely person. Well, you should probably date her then and see how long that lasts for. And very misunderstood. Oh, you're too kind. Thank you very much. No, she is not. No, she is not. All right, moving on to the next one, we have a two-part question, which I think is going to take a bit of time to answer, but let's just get through it the best we can. Why do you think it's okay for Amy/Tammy to be horrible and argue in their show? You just saying normal human things makes people hate you so strongly. Well, it's not just what Amber says, it's also what Amber does. But also, Amy and Tammy are siblings, and a lot of siblings can say some harsh shit to each other. I know this because I have 4 siblings myself. We can say some harsh shit to each other, but at the same time, we would also do what is necessary to protect one another, do what we need in order to make sure the other ones are okay. Like me personally, I have a great disdain for my brothers. I do not like them in the slightest because I just do. We've had so much bad blood between us that I don't really think I would ever be in a place where I would genuinely care for them in the same way that I would my 2 sisters, because that's just how I am in general. We have had just so much negative things happen that it's just there's such a great divide. But if anything would happen, I would make sure that I would do everything in my power to make sure they're okay. Like, I would go out of my way to make sure that they are safe, they are healthy, and they are getting the help that they need if I'm not able to help them. That is what I would do for them. And I'm pretty sure they would do the exact same thing for me. Like, that's just how some siblings are. Like, my sisters, we get along like 2 peas in a pod. Like, that's just how we are with just us generally. We'll butt heads, but we love each other and we care about each other. In the same way that I love and care about my brothers, just I can't stand them for more than 5 minutes at a time. But that's just how siblings are. Amber, on the other hand, she treats anyone and everyone like shit, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And even though the Sladen sisters probably have had their moments, I have seen some clips where they have actually bettered themselves and they are becoming better people. They're far from what I would call average morality, but they are somewhat better than what Amber is. Alright, on to what Amber says. We have, the question blew my mind because I don't even have an answer. Well, that's because you're incapable of self-reflection and not being able to understand the nuance of the question itself to properly answer it. It's true most reality shows show the very ugly side of people, since we all have ugly sides to us, but for some reason, when I show my ugly side, it gives people one opinion of me. The reason why is because the good side of you is a facade. It's not real. It is a mask that you create to hide the true intentions of what you really are as a person. That is not who you truly are as a person. Like, the good side of you being loving and caring and giving money and all of these things are just you trying to create this facade or create these good intentions to get what you truly want out of people. What you do, which is considered good, is just you having an ulterior motive to get what you want out of people. So by virtue of you doing something good and wanting something out of someone, it is not good. It is you trying to get something out of someone. Like, you don't understand the basics of being a good person. You do something selflessly in order to just be a good person. You don't do it to get something out of someone. That is why so many people criticize you for when you're doing good things, because you brag about it or because you have some intention of getting something out of it. That is why people judge you so harshly, even when you're doing something good. Like, you don't understand the basics of how to be a good human being, and it's hard to explain it because you're incapable of self-reflection. Like, you would not be able to understand what I'm saying and self-reflect because you think I would be criticizing you so harshly that it's like a hate opinion. When in reality, I'm criticizing your actions and giving you actual criticism. Do good things without expecting something in return, and people will actually give you that level of respect to go, oh wow, she's doing some good things for once. Like, you will always try to find some intention of getting something out of someone when you do something, and it goes for every single partner that you've had. Like, Destiny has said the exact same thing. You buy her love and affection. Same thing with Beck. You put her on a payroll, but then you didn't even really pay her, so she was doing things for you that she didn't even really get paid for. Alright guys, I decided to cut the answer here, like, short, because otherwise I went for nearly a 10-minute rant on this question alone, so we're not doing that. I decided to cut it here. I think this is an appropriate just place to stop for the question. Moving on to the next one, we have today's happy thought, to which Amber says, I'm starting my new Lego today, and I'm super excited. Now, I know that I'm critical of Amber, but I genuinely think it would be cool if Amber made, not a Lego channel, but like maybe just a segment on her channel for Legos. Maybe some scrapbooking, journaling, painting, drawing, something that would actually allow her to have a hobby, to fill her time, to be able to just enjoy something that doesn't include eating, drinking, or spending time with a partner. Do something that would actually allow her to have a hobby, fill up her time, and be able to work on her mental health and maybe build a positive community for once. Like, you want a positive community where people love you and like you, or whatever it may be, have some sort of relationship with you that's positive. Actually do something that is worthwhile, that is something that passionate about and can fill up your time, so you're not hyper focused on relationships and eating. Just something enjoyable that people are going to like. I haven't done a new Lego in a while. I'm having withdrawals. That's kind of weird, Amber, that you say withdrawals, because wasn't it only the last one you were condescending to people saying things like, oh, you're addicted to drinking? Like, oh, people say that, and it's so offensive because how dare you say that when I only drink once a week? There are addicts out there who are suffering. Well, withdrawals is a term typically used for people who have an addiction. So, how are you trivializing addictions when you yourself are condescending to other people who also trivialize, in quotations, addictions? I wanted to get a few productive things done today before I started it. Well, I mean, what would you technically do? Like, no offense, you don't have a job, you're not doing your YouTube career right now, and you're sitting on Instagram answering questions. So, what would productive do? And I wouldn't say walking a dog or feeding the dogs or cats is productive. That's just basic things that you need to do as a necessity because you are the one that owns pets. That's not even productive. That's just you fulfilling your responsibilities for the day, which is so easy. You could do that all within probably 10 minutes if you are quick about it, which, I mean, walking a dog is a little bit different. Like Amber, by Amber's walking, it's take the dog outside. Like walking for us is like probably half an hour to an hour walk. I started it though, and since I'm almost done with my list of things, I wanted to get it done. I'll be starting it soon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, get the work done and then have your fun afterwards. Alright guys, it's going to be the end of the video. I know that I still have some questions left for the last Q&A, but I'm going to be doing a bunch of other Q&As as well. I will be keeping them around 20 minutes, breaking them up so you guys don't have to listen to a 40-minute video of just Q&As. Now, I want to kind of do them one after another and then try to place videos of Foodie and Amber in between so that way you guys don't get too bored. But I just want to make sure the videos are enjoyable overall. Now, I could easily just breeze through the rest of them in one single video. I'll leave that up to you guys if you get to the end of the video and you kind of want to speak on what you would prefer. If you will like shorter Q&As and a couple of other videos in between them, or if just one big Q&A video. Because honestly, it's going to take a while to get through all of the questions unless Amber brings out more, and then I'm just going to be like, screw it, go on to the other content. But I am going to continue with Amber and Foodie videos once I finish all of these. But again, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please let me know how you feel about it, and hopefully I get to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.